This morning, I am on my way to the Kingdom at TaylorMade to get a fitting for a new Stealth 2 driver. Now, my Stealth driver is going to take some beating. I've been hitting it well. I can do all the shots. I love to shape it and do all that. So, Trotty is going to be fitting me for the new Stealth 2 to see if there's any improvement. Can I hit it longer? Is it going to be more forgiving? What's it going to be like? We're going to bring you along for the journey. So, let's go. You're going to sort me out today?
I think it should be a pretty easy job. You always come here pretty consistent. So.
This is going to take some beating.
Yeah, well that was
I hit this really well.
We did, wasn't it? Or not?
I can't remember.
Possibly.
We're going to sort me out, but also you're sorting Piers out on your channel.
Yep.
Just with the fitting, so make sure you go and check out Trotty's channel, YouTube channel. Put the link in the description for that. But this is about me as well, so we're going to get a new driver for me. Hopefully that's going to be somewhere really close to that.
Because that's last year. You didn't play loads of golf, but probably the best I've seen you drive.
I agree.
Maybe ever.
I agree.
This video might not even go live. It might not even help.
This is the ball you play, isn't it, X?
Yes.
You seem confident in much at the moment.
I've been changing actually a little
Why?
bit. Depending on what's in my bag.
That's what he finds.
Okay.
Oh, this is an X. I'll use that one today.
I mean, obviously, I feel like I know your game pretty good, and I feel like you're a pretty good driver of the golf ball, to be fair. Especially on a golf course.
I've been good this year.
Do you know what I do feel about when I'm with him though, when I play golf with him? You can hit one that goes, and very rare this now with a lot of players, you can hit one that goes 25 yards further than everything else. I feel like you play within yourself.
What I would like to see is that I've just got more consistency in the yardage. So you're right, I can hit some shots and I'll go, wow, I've just ripped that one, it's gone 25 yards further, but then I'll get somewhere I've just off the bottom, a little spinny, and I'm short. So I want to get that consistency in the length.
So it's not a fear of left and right.
No,
it's just a fear of strike.
Strike and just consistent yardage. I know I can hit it long. There's too much difference from.
But do you think you do it because based on the hole though?
When I'm on the golf course, I'm playing more variety of shots. I'm hitting low ones, softer ones, fades. I'll go for a high bomb. I'm changing up the shots I'm hitting. But if I'm hitting let's say just a standard stock shot, I want to see a consistent one where it just varies in terms of length based on a little bit of strike and spin.
Why are you changing up the shots you hit?
Because I feel like, depending on the hole, and I feel I'm really good at being creative. If I've got a dog leg, if I'm under pressure, if I've got a tighter hole, it just depends on what the situation calls, and I go, this one feels like it's a low fade or a...
I was more asking for a friend there because I thought that was a good sound bite. Like, I think that anyone struggles with driver if they can latch onto a shot shape rather than a feel or a panic feel.
Yeah.
It's good.
My tendency is a little similar to Piers, low launch, high spin.
It's right there. It's done.
Low launch, high spin.
10 degrees, 26.
Exactly.
So again, how would I approach this fitting? First off, I'd get that club out your hand because what's the point?
And the thing is, this has been good as well. You can't get this out.
Second off, I've compared the golf shafts between the two, and
What's he doing to
What are you doing?
just remember where it is.
Remember what
It's like a load of dust is going to pop out now. It's like an old tomb, that
like
is.
his wallet. So basically, that comes out. There was a load of dust. Jesus Christ. You've never taken that off, have you?
I've not changed this.
Jesus Christ. All right. Look at what I'm
That's the
dealing
magic dust, that is.
Hang on. Oh, look at what I'm dealing with. All right, so put this back on. Now, I've actually expedited the process here massively. I'm going to put this straight in standard. I'm actually going to go one click towards higher and see if you can pallet the, I'm talking about the Loft Sleeve, which is just
Show us what you're talking about here.
Talking about this Loft Sleeve, right? So Andy in his game had it towards lower, one click towards lower. Notice right hand sleeve, big call out for fitting any left-handers. It's also, if we just scrape off some of the cobwebs, it's a 1.5 degree sleeve. So if he was there and I move that there, I'm adding loft with each turn. So if I go all the way to higher, I add 1.5 degrees. If I go from standard one click, I add 0.5 degrees. But in this scenario, I've added a whole degree. And the reason I'm adding a whole degree to this, if I can get it on, believe it or not, the reason I'm adding it is because I'm going 9 degree. Now, based on the conversations that you've said there, I've done a lot of this fitting already, like even from that early conversation. On holes, he said himself, right, he doesn't like to hit the draw. He's a fade guy. So now, if I look at this face angle, see if you can get in on there, what I've done is I've added some loft, which then has brought the face angle more this way. We're almost pushing the twist face this way so we can see more of the face. You use a 10.5 on one click towards lower, so your face is more that way. But I'm going down in loft in the actual body of the head. So by going down in loft, I'm going to give you a bit more speed, a bit more energy transfer, which is what these clubs are all about. Good driving is about energy transfer. He said he sometimes doesn't strike it. Let's see if we can get the strike more consistent, and with less loft, those off-centre strikes won't balloon up and spin, which we know is his miss.
And I instinctively want to just tee this up a little bit higher as well. I was doing this on my last practice session, because my tendency.
Stick that driver behind there, because this is another massive one that I think that your following will really get and understand. You take a tee height, obviously the CG of this golf club is back here, and you see this fancy weight on the back. It's right back here. The CG of this golf ball obviously is dead in the middle, but if you can offset, and maybe just come around the side, mate, if you can offset the CG of the weight of the club underneath the weight of the CG of the golf ball, then he's going to get that strike point where the ball comes out with high launch and low spin. What's happening at the moment is he's giving it a little bit steep, a little bit down, and he's creating lower launch, and then the ball fights to get up into the air. We're trying to just make this relationship a little bit nicer, a little bit more friendly, a little bit more efficient, and we do that, believe it or not, by going with less loft, and then him as a player will react. You do have to be a good player for that, but he will react. So basically, if you think about you on the golf course, you want to hit draws, peg the thing nice and high, and you'll hit the high draw, which is a right to left shot for a right-handed golfer. You want to hit squeezy fades, which you talk about, peg the ball low. And he already alluded to the fact that he's teeing it higher than he ever has before, which is great. Great, I love it.
It's rare that I miss it off the top of the face. It's always off the bottom, which just, again, gets that low launch.
Game of opposites, isn't it? We're trying to work towards that. Okay, there's that miss, straight away.
What I like about this is the fact that you have actually played golf with him and you know his game has obviously helped. But anyone who's watching this now and wants to go and have a fitting, they need to be very comfortable with telling the fitter about their game, not about their golf swing.
And be honest. Even if you're not playing well, be honest with what you're seeing. We've got to get a true snapshot. Ego stays at the door when you do a good fitting.
Nice.
So you can see he's just fighting to get that in the air at the moment. Now notice as well, I'm pegging the balls up so that I can control the speed at which he hits them. Not bothered about him adjusting the tee height, that's fine. Decent player, knows what he likes. But I just don't want someone in rapid fire. Nightmare situation there. So 3 golf shots, right? With a tour player, it's 1 or 2. Good player like Andy, 3's doing us. That is a true reflection there. And this would be the first time I'd ask him a question as to like, where's your mind at? What do you think about that? I know what I'm seeing on the floor here, what worries me, but what do you think?
Still low launch. I want to see that ball popping up higher.
So you can see on ball flight there, it's knuckly, isn't it?
Yeah,
we're not going to make this poppy work. It's as simple as that. So what we're going to do, we have to go 10-5 head, which I think is back here. And I'm going to make a little experiment, which I don't often do. I'm now going back to, so you take it back, and we're moving a lot of stuff around. I might not do this as frequently as this. We're going to change lofts. I'm going to put him back 1 click towards lower. Always trust your instincts with this as well, and take a look at it as the fitter from here. That to me looks really lofted. Your driver, what do you think? Just have a look at it at address first before we...
It looks more open. Feels shorter. Is this shorter?
It does feel. I think it should be 45.75. So if it's shorter, you're playing longer. It's a mid-size grip versus a. So you're playing. That's the mid. So you're playing a 1/4 inch longer. Let's just see if you like the feel before I start getting too concerned on that. There you go. It's great. It's really good. That was the most promising one we've seen so far. Now I understand why you've been fit into the other driver, or the other driver is in the equation. Your spin rate impacts how the ball stays in the air. He's at 2100, which for his speed, which is 170, he's got a bit more in the tank. That's ball speed, so the speed at which the ball comes off the blade. He's not quite spinning it enough. Now, we're hitting into a little breeze. He's also not launching it high enough. I've given him a golf shaft that should launch it a bit higher, but this head does not spin as much as the Stealth 2. So I'm gonna now pop this off and put this head onto that golf shaft. Fair to say you hit that one pretty good.
That was nice, yeah.
You're not hitting it high enough. Look at the peak height, 76.
Yeah, still low. Strong flight, but not high enough.
and it looks acceptable as a result of interbreeze, but it's not.
No.
It's nowhere near. We need like another 45 feet, if anything. So I'm going standard. So again, fitting scenario, I might not say this out loud, but video purposes, I'm going to say it. I've got rid of the minus 0.5. I've gone standard. I've gone a head that's much more spinny. So this track at the front, all this mass has been removed. Center of gravity, talked to you earlier about how important that is. Further back, obviously now there's a weight port here in the one he's got. It's a little bit different, so hopefully we'll see a bit more launch.
This looks lofted, this does.
Let's just start to see it, see how you react to it. That's not a good reaction usually from a good player. If it looks lofted, probably not good.
Yeah, I'm trying there to launch it. I'm trying.
You need to launch it, mate. You remind me of like an early Garcia. You know what I mean? It's about 10, 9 launch, 27, 28. You get golfers like that, and the situation is that you limit the maximum distance you can get, and that's what this whole conversation is going to be around. Like, I can come to the party with you here, no worries, but basically where your stealth was living at, which is a 7-8 degree launch with a 27, 28 at peak optimum for you, and I would love to see that launch just get up.
This looks loads better, by the way.
Both of you know where you need to go. It's just you're so stubborn that you won't go there.
Nice. It's just time, practicing.
Well, can you just go there for the next time we do one of these videos?
This is the second practice session of the year.
That's my fault. Movable weight at the front, look.
Okay.
It's all the way out, and that was a good shot. Just, I'd left this out there from a
Come on, Trotty.
fitting earlier with him. And I was
I'm
like, I'll
glad
leave
it
it there in
that
case you...
That wasn't nothing to do with me, that one.
But look though, 2,500, 10 lot, that's about as efficient as you're going to get. 91 on the peak and 35 degrees on the descent. We're picking at minor things. If a golfer turns up to you with these attributes, they're a good player.
So tell us on that land line, just explain that, what the land line.
So basically, yeah, if you play a links track in the UK, you can get away with like your 38, your 37. It's the langed angle at which the ball comes into the fairway, and you can get away with it. But if you're going to be here in the States, you probably want it to come down a bit steeper, because then it's going to carry a bit further. And again, it's attributes of a UK player. It's squeezy, it's fighting to keep the ball down. And what I'm asking him to do, which is hard to do subconsciously on a day like this into breeze, but hit the damn thing, launch it. Like, let's not see a launch angle that drops below 10. If we can see a launch angle in the next 5 shots that doesn't drop below 10.
Okay.
Now, there's countless things I can do here, Piers, that would force this. You go ask yourself, like, obviously things in front of him, blah, blah, blah. Like, you've worked with him a lot more than I have. I'm going to stick the owl in front of you, and you're going to have to hit it through his ears in a minute. Let's get a golf ball.
Get a golf ball.
I've probably got one in the bag. Here you are. So let's go grip length.
This is a drill that we use, if you haven't seen us do this before, to get...
Let's go grip length. So straight away now, I'm even going, I need to knock this higher up there.
Yeah. So straight away your tee height's now affected because you're going...
I've got to. I've got to there force this.
It'd be a great effort if you get over that.
I'm pretty talented, Trotter, you know that.
Panicking is what he's doing.
I got to think now.
Yeah, I know, I saw it on your face. He's like thinking, is that actually pretty close? I'm like, yeah, it is. From this angle, mate, that doesn't, I don't know.
You can do that.
I'm going to surprise you here. Right. I know I can do it. I've done it multiple times. Okay.
You clipped it. Hang on, how good's the ball flight? How good's the ball flight? Clipped it.
I didn't see it move at all. That was the speed just knocked that out of the way.
The vortex.
And there you go, mate. I mean, that's good.
And
you need to work on this, mate.
I'm happy with the face angle there. Actually, what's the?
Yeah, it's because it's about 4 degrees open.
Okay. What is it?
Yeah, it's open.
Perfect.
Way
I mean, I'm happy with that
Yeah.
because if I can not hit it left.
Yeah, it's way
Again, similar to you, Pierce, I can...
And I went a bit firmer in the golf shaft because I wasn't sure that you were in love with that.
I like this head.
I think this is a really good drill for you. I really do.
I do too. Good, mate. It looks stally because it's into breeze.
Yeah.
But it's a much higher window than I'm used to.
Those numbers are mint.
Yeah, I mean 11. I mean nearly 12 and 2.5.
They're mint.
I was still 1 down on that. But strike was obviously higher off the face.
Remember, there's nothing calibrated to the machine as well, so don't be too hard on yourself. Like, we're trying to please that, not this. That's important when you get a fitting. We're trying to please the target, not just the monitor. To the point where when I do fitting sometimes, I'll switch this off and be like, let's get rid of it.
Do you know what I'm going to start doing now? Because all I feel like I'm doing, and this is an important realization, I'm just trying to hit up and smash it now.
Yeah.
So I need to go into golf mode.
Yeah.
And just play. I need to play a couple of different shots.
We'll get the box out of the way and just start actually hitting fairways.
Because this is not
an important point here, or maybe a question I've got. I played simulator golf for the first time last week I've ever played it, and I hit every fairway but one. Drove it great. I drive it not bad, but on the simulator I drove it unreal. So what you're saying here, I get it, but they've all been good golf shots.
They have, but I'm not really tuning in. I'm very focused here. I'm very focused here, and I'm like.
But do you
what
think
I also
sometimes
need to
that
test,
we let our environment dictate? It's like, why did I drive it so good on a simulator?
because it's not real.
So
as
how
well.
do you then create that on a golf course?
Yeah. So, So I've got to hit a couple of shots where I'm now tuned into the shot really, and maybe even try and shape a couple.
Well, I'd question how you play on a golf course.
What are you thinking on the club head?
I'm thinking if this is a true reflection of him being a player, I got to fit to what we've just seen there, basically, and that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
So I'm taking my mindset, and I've found a club that's great for the launch monitor. So now what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to try and make this club great for him as a player. And the reason I'm switching heads is because the spin rates I'm seeing are really high. And I think, again, back to what I've said a couple of times in this video, 9 degrees, 2,900, it's just where you're going to be. At his peak, it's where Garcia lived, and he was one of the greatest drivers to play the game. Which is interesting, you've got someone who can reach Rory McIlroy's peak height, but it's just not where you can be.
Yeah.
You can't, you've got either too much scar tissue, or you're just not comfortable there. So I want you to keep hitting shots.
It's so far from where I am is the difference.
And I'm okay with that. So I want you to keep hitting shots, but I can't let you finish on that head. But look at that. Look at that. Let's not even look at that.
Yeah.
I don't have to watch that.
No.
That's a golf shot that he's going to play on a golf course.
Yeah.
On this then, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to fade it?
Just get yourself in the Garcia mindset, right? I want it to be a push fade. That's what I'm trying to get you to do. Your fades right now, your weakness is that it's steep and it's spinny. Again, we've said it, 9 degrees, 2,700 is where you're going to live, and that's where you're going to live. And this is the driver for you because this isn't going to spin up on your miss hit. But I think when I watch you hit these fades, you've got like 9 degrees left. No tour players doing that, and you've got all the attributes.
So I just need to go.
Everything's too extreme.
Yeah.
I think just hit it low.
It's a softer fade. Yeah.
Everything is two extremes to get what you're trying to get. And do you know why you get away with it? Because you play 67, 66, 64,000 yard golf courses and you get away with it. But it's so inefficient. You've got the ability to play a 7,400 yard golf course and dominate it. Yeah. And what you do, because you hit it so far and you play like members courses, you just scab it.
Yeah.
This is scabbing. This isn't...
Stop being a scabber. If you keep going, you make him cry.
He's better than this, that's all.
But no, the thing is, and it's he's dead right. If I'm on tour, coming to you, 100%, I'm going, I really want to change this because I can't compete. I can't compete on tour with the guys. However, the courses that I'm playing at, these big shapes that I do, it's where I like to play those shots.
Play off the back tees as well.
Exactly.
You're forced into doing it anyway.
So the environment is forcing me and helping me. But if I'm a tour player, I'm 100% going, right, I need to be able to hit this tiny fade, but actually ramp it up so I'm efficient with this. But you're dead right. There's so much more room left in the tank for me.
Definitely.
I'm not going to get that today. It's just not going to happen because it's so far from where I am, where comfortable is. But the way I look at this is like, okay, in 12 months' time, when there's a new driver out, I've got time between now and then to go, right, how do I, in the next 6 months to 12 months, change my attack angle, increase my launch by changing my technique? I can now put a plan together to go, right, this is where I want to be next year. So when I come and see Trotty for another fitting, now I'm pushing the envelope on maxing out my optimum. So it's a long-term thing, which is great when you're going for a fit and you go, okay, this is where I am now. But if you speak to your coach, you probably want to get the path sorted. You may want to get your attack angle sorted, but that might take some time. So in 6 months' time, come back, have another fitting. So that's the way I'm interpret Interpreting, I'm not even sure what that is. But
I'm not helping you out whatsoever.
but I've now got a plan that I can interpreting. There we go.
It's good though, Proudy.
I've got a plan to improve.
But I think you're a victim of your circumstances.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I think you're playing golf with people that are probably the same level. If you play with Aaron, that might push you to do a bit more.
100%. When
he maxes out.
When we're with Aaron, the difference I see with Aaron, and this is what I said earlier on in terms of the difference in yardages, I look at Aaron, he'll hit 10 drives, and they're like lined up in a row.
Yeah.
He's not like, there's not one there, one there, one there. They're in a row, and that's where I want to get to, but the way I get to that is by more long-term changing the attack angle and getting closer to optimum. All I need to do is to get away from that. What did you call it?
A swipey waft.
A swaft. From a swaft. Is just not create as big a difference between path and face. So let me just go for a baby fade, which is off this actual tee height. I've just got to aim slightly left. So
there you go, mate.
So there's the baby fade, but I'm just not creating as big a difference.
Half the path.
Yeah, exactly. So let me do this with it. I can do this now off a high tee, exactly the same.
Good.
Feel a bit too swipey waft.
No, it's good.
That's good. High launch.
That's nice.
It's good.
That's good.
Okay, Trotty.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Really
Appreciate that.
You can get better.
I'm going away with so much confidence. No, thanks, mate. I mean, it just shows the importance of fitting. If you haven't already checked out Trotty's channel, we'll put the links in the description. Check it out. Loads of great fittings on there as well. And yeah, go and check out Pierce's video as well.
Bit more successful than that one, maybe.
I think so. Cheers, guys.